who excels academically and possesses great enthusiasm for learning. This individual is the student with the highest cumulative GPA in his or her class, and who has shown consistent and exemplary scholarship in his or her 4-year academic career at MCP. Would Scott Charlock please step forward to be recognized? Scott's teachers describe him as smart, talented, gracious, and humble. Scott's intrinsic motivation and intellectual curiosity have allowed him to embrace learning for the love of learning. He's an extraordinary student with academic distinctions in multiple disciplines. Scott's ability to problem solve and critically analyze give him the ability to deeply understand academic content and inspire others to follow suit. Scott does not settle for superficiality and has an ability to articulate his insights with a positive and respectful demeanor. Teachers often count on Scott to add depth and creativity to a discussion. Scott is also respected among his peers and in the community. Scott has earned 12 varsity letters during his high school career. His name will go on the banner recognizing 12 sport letter winners. He also excels in a variety of sports. He's played a role in student government, serves as a part of the tech crew for theater, and through all of that well-rounded success, 14 AP classes with a total GPA of 4.76. Scott remains humble, kind, down to earth, and indeed funny. He never attributes his gifts solely to himself. Scott sees his honorable character and sophisticated intellect as a product of his wonderful parents, his family, his peers, and his community. Scott lives by our motto, becoming men and women for others, and has proudly attained the attributes we aspire for all of our students, as described in the profile of the MCP graduate. Scott will be attending Pomona College in Claremont this fall. Please join me in congratulating the 2018 Mission College Preparatory Valedictorian, Scott Charlock.
There's this poignant scene at the finale of the book Charlotte's Web that somewhat reminds me of this graduation here today. There's 1,000 baby spiders who have never known a world outside of Wilbur's barn, but they turn their webbing into a sort of balloon and soar out into the great unknown. We are those spiders. And just like Wilbur, I'm going to miss each and every one of you. And aside from your spectacular resumes and achievements, the most poignant aspect which I'll miss about you all is your subtleties, the things that I don't even realize that I now appreciate. The smiles and brief, "What's up, Scott?" in the hallways, the excited waves coming from cars when I'm walking downtown on a Saturday afternoon, the crispest high fives on the face of the planet. Every night before I go to sleep, I write a brief summary of what I did that day as a sort of positive reflection. The inspiration, of course, was Mr. Dowdy's positive moments in biology class freshman year. But the thing is, these past few weeks, I've encountered this bizarre experience where simply listing the events chronologically didn't really capture what I truly wanted to bottle up. I could type out the physical events that occurred, but I couldn't really package up that magical essence in the air, that glimmer of happiness resonating from each of you, that sparkly feeling you get when you look out into the crowd, just for a moment, and you see beaming smiles on every one of us as we bond closer together. That part, the most important part, can't really be phrased in words. I'm referring to events such as the senior class pizza party, when 25 of us all got together at lunch at one big table to eat pizza and chat, for no other reason than for the fun of it. I'm referring to our color throwing, then subsequent painting of the M, when we all worked together and produced something remarkable. Prom, where we all cheered as the band Kill the Pigeons laid down some sick rhythms. Battle of the Bands, when Kirk sang "I'm a Goofy Goober" like a rock star. And need I not mention the ecstatic, almost Dionysian joy of the running of the halls? For all those who aren't familiar with the tradition, imagine the chaotic excitement of Spain's running of the bulls, except the seniors are both the people and the bulls. It's as fantastic as it sounds. And all of these events that I've just mentioned happened in the past 3 or so weeks, and we've been on a roll for 4 years. During these 4 years, I think I'm correct in saying that we thought we were working towards achieving measurable accomplishments, going to college, building a resume, taking standardized tests. But now that we're here, I realize that what we were truly working towards was something much greater. We were forging human connections, growing as a person, and finding out just who we are, all the while supporting others who are on the same path. Truly, the real impact of a person isn't just their physical presence, and I was reminded of this when I recently went to the Tutankhamun exhibit at the California Science Center. While I was there, I was reminded of this beautiful tradition that the ancient Egyptians had called the second death. They said that no man truly and fully dies when his heart stops working, because he still lives on in the minds and memories of all those around him. Only when he is forgotten does he die his second death. Now, in a much less grim sense, we're not going to be physically present at Mission Prep next year, but we're still going to be there. We won't be in physical proximity of each other, but we'll still be there for each other. The reason, of course, is because the class of 2018, which I am honored to be a part of, has indelibly made its mark on the minds and memories of the students after us, on the faculty, and on each other, just like all of you have made an impact on me. The mysterious street artist Banksy once said, "Art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable." This quote could also be applied to us. When we're down, we can pick each other back up. But when the world becomes a little too normal, a little too boring, we become world shakers. In regards to comforting the disturbed, at Kairos, I cannot list for you all every time that I witnessed one of us comforting and consoling someone who really needed it. On the flip side, we took people's expectations of what going to a sports game is like, then flipped those expectations on their head and created something new entirely. We said, watching a soccer game is nice, but watching a soccer game with free hot chocolate while under a warm blanket is marvelous. So we did. And because of that, more people came to the soccer games, and I think it's fair to say that we started a new tradition. And this brings me to my next compliment of this class. You all have truly scientific minds. You're not afraid to challenge old traditions, question authority, and think for yourself. I don't think I've ever seen you all fall under groupthink or mob mentality, and I respect that. The world needs more people like that. In the words of one of my all-time heroes, the astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, "No idea is true just because someone says so, including me." Speaking of astrophysics, there is one more analogy which I'd like to share with you. Right now, the universe is expanding, and it's expanding exponentially. And on top of that, we still don't completely understand why it's accelerating. All we know is that it has something to do with this mysterious substance called dark energy. The point that I'm trying to make here is that this graduation is a sending-off ceremony of a sort, and that soon we'll be spreading ourselves across the world into the black void of the unknown. But you all have this tool with you, this dark energy, if you will, this substance that, like I've already said, I've tried unsuccessfully to encapsulate in my daily journal entries. I can't quite pin down this aura, this essence that is emanating brightly from each and every one of you. But what I can do is give us a challenge. I challenge us to keep this energy with us as we continue on to our next chapter. Retain that energetic spark with you all, and I cannot wait to see us shine.
We now invite Deacon Tom to come forward to bless